Tommy Watson is a player Brighton rate very highly, and his loan move to Millwall is about much more than just minutes. This is a winger whose game is built around timing, intelligence and a threat in the most dangerous areas of the pitch. In this video, I'm breaking down Watson's profile, what makes him effective and why this loan move could be a really important step in his development to become the Seagulls' Kaoru Mitoma replacement. Welcome back to the Louis Selling YouTube channel. I am back once again. It is transfer deadline day, one of my favourite days of the year. Loads of deals going on today. But in this video, I'm going to be talking about one that happened yesterday. And that is this man, Tommy Watson, and his loan move to Millwall. It is a straight loan deal, no option or obligation to buy. And if all goes to plan, he should be playing some serious minutes in the Premier League next season for Brighton and working towards being that long-term Kaoru Mitoma replacement. So Watson joined the Sunderland Academy at the age of 6, where he's worked his way up through their age groups. He played 40 games for their under-18s, where he scored 18 goals and provided 7 assists. He then moved up to the under-21s, playing up age groups, where he played 31 games, scored 13 goals and provided 11 assists. His fantastic performances and stats in the youth age groups earned him his senior debut for the Black Cats at the age of 17 in 2023. He played 24 times for the senior side, where he scored 3 goals. He scored a brace against Stoke City, and of course his final goal for Sunderland came in that playoff final, scoring in the 95th minute against Sheffield United to take them up to the Premier League and give them the perfect parting gift. He then made a move in April to Brighton for £10 million. Obviously the deal was formalised in the summer, but it was all agreed in April. So he had a lot of pressure on him to continue performing, had a lot of criticism from Sunderland fans, but he earned his place in the history with that goal. So far for Brighton, he has played just 10 games in the first half of the season, playing 193 minutes, which is no time at all. Played 1 minute in the FA Cup, played 56 minutes across 6 games in the Premier League, and 136 minutes across 3 games in the EFL Cup, but he has got 4 goal contributions. He scored on his debut for the Seagulls against Oxford United in the Carabao Cup, scoring a fantastic finish into the top corner from just inside the box, and that really highlights what he's so good at, what his main attribute is, and we'll take a look at that in a minute. And then he's also got 3 assists, which he got against Barnsley, also in the Carabao Cup, all came in the same game. And that was the first game where Brighton fans saw the potential that he has. If we have a look at his heat maps, we look at the first one for Brighton in the EFL Cup this season. You can see on that left-hand side, obviously there's only 3 games to go off of, but he's always on that left-hand side, starts wide, slightly deeper, and then he likes to come inside, get in that box, be a threat, and put those shots into the bottom corner, into the top corner, past the goalkeeper to that far post. And he's a danger in there. As I said, he likes to shoot a lot of the time, but he's also got that ability to make that pass into the box or to the edge of the D for his teammate to take a shot and create chances. If we have a look at his championship heat map, it is pretty much the same. He's wide on that left, slightly deeper, and then he comes back inside to get shots away, score those goals, put crosses in and create chances. He's a very unique type of winger. Fabian Herzler has played Kaoru Mitoma many times with this sort of role coming narrow, so I was very surprised that Watson hasn't played even an hour of Premier League football this season, as it suits him really well. I understand that he's not quite there physically, he's still very raw, but sometimes you need that in the Premier League, and if he's going to be doing this at Millwall, cutting inside, getting shots away, I can very much see them being promoted to the Premier League. If we look at his stats, we'll start with the Championship ones. We'll look at his shot map first. This is from 20 matches, 2 goals and starting 11 games, 890 minutes played. His shots on target just 19%, which isn't too bad, but it could definitely be improved. You can see the cluster in that shot map all coming on that left hand side, where he's getting into the box, getting towards the edge of the box and just firing shots away. Only 1 goal has come from the right side of the box. To be honest, only 1 shot has come from the right side of the box. Stats wise, 2 goals or 0.2 per 90. Expected goals 0.17 per 90. Definitely something that he needs to improve, but if you look at his clips in a minute, you will see that he's slowly getting there. And this move now will hopefully speed that up. XG on target 0.08, something that definitely needs to be improved. Non-penalty XG 0.17, doesn't take penalty. But what I really like is this 2.63 shots per 90. Get your shots away. I like that from a winger. Nowadays, the long shot is kind of a dying art. Not many players have the freedom or the ability or the license to just get shots away. If you don't shoot, you're not going to score. And if he improves these previous stats with expected goals and expected goals on target, he will score many, many goals. And he could easily be a 10 to 15 goal a season winger. Shots on target, 0.51 per 90. Improve that and he will be absolutely flying. Passing wise, did not get a Championship assists, but it's strange to say as a winger, that's not really his game, getting assists. He's, to be honest, he's more of an inside forward, which you'd expect to be getting those goals. Expected assists, 0.15, has him in the green, not bad at all per 90. Successful passes, 18 per 90, not bad, something that needs to be improved. Successful passes, just under that 80% mark. Not too bad, because a lot of those will be putting crosses in the box as well. So it's not a disaster. Accurate long balls, 0.4 per 90. Not too relevant, but he's okay at switch of play. But again, it's not really his game. Chances created, 1.31 per 90. A decent number, something that he could drag up a little bit more with the more minutes that he plays, which he will get at Millwall. Which would be, it would be a strange low move if he didn't get at least 10 to 15 starts for the rest of this season. Successful crosses, 1.11. When he crosses, he's really, really good at them. 20%, slight improvement needs to be had there, but not too bad. But it is difficult to measure a successful cross, because if someone doesn't get on the end of it, it's deemed not a successful cross. But sometimes the balls are put in those areas that are really, really dangerous. Dribbling wise, 1.31 successful dribbles per 90, 40% success rate. It's okay. Still raw, still needs to be improved, as with many, many of these stats. In the air, he is 6'3", but he's not great in the air. It's definitely not his strong suit. But the main stat here, which I like, is 6.37 touches in the opposition box per 90. It further highlights and pushes that idea that he'll get the ball, he'll drive inside towards that box, in that box, and put shots on target towards the goal. And the more he develops, the more he improves, the more he will score. 50 touches per 90 is not bad either. Defending, he tracks back, he works hard, but not too important if he's playing on that left wing position. Commits a few fouls, recovers 3.34 times per 90. Maybe something that can be increased slightly for Millwall, because he needs to work hard in that team if he wants to get a place in the starting 11 and keep that place. If we look at his stats for Brighton, just in the EFL Cup, his shot map, again, this is from 1 goal, 3 assists, 3 games, 1 started. All those shots, again, coming on that left-hand side, which is no surprise at all. In terms of his expected goals, 0.2 per 90. Again, XG on target is much better, 0.89. Shots for, shots on target. If we look at the per 90s of those, 2.63 shots per 90, really high again, and 1.31 shots on target. So there's already improvement just from these first 6 months at Brighton. Obviously, it's only 3 games to go off of, and 2 of them were against lower opposition in games that Brighton won 6-0, and they should be absolutely romping through. Assist, 1.97 per 90. Expected assists, 0.36. Successful passes, much improved, 28.25. And this is probably the key stat in this bit. His passing has already improved from his time on being at the South Coast. 81.1% successful passes. Chances created, 3.28. That's come up as well, which is very good to see. Big chances, 0.66. Really good as well. Touches in the opposition box has come up even more as well, with 11.82 per 90, and he'll be really dangerous for Millwall if he keeps this going. Recoveries improved for Brighton as well, 6.57 per 90. He's improving, and he should have been getting more minutes, but this is a really good deal for Millwall, and if he keeps this progress, this steady development, he'll be a big player for Millwall in the Championship this season. But let's go and take a look at some match clips. We'll look at his goals for Sunderland, his goal for Brighton, and his 3 assists. Let's start with the best goal of Watson's career so far. That 95th minute Championship playoff final winner. And to be honest, it is the goal that sums up his whole play style, and shows that he likes to come narrow and he likes to get those shots away. And it also highlights a really unique shooting technique. So if you haven't seen the goal, this is it. Kiefer Moore gives the ball away. Watson is the left winger in here. Look how narrow he is already. He's almost playing where a number 10 would play. But coming in here gives him so much space. He's reacted as well, because Sheffield United are on the counter-attack. He's reacted well to turn himself and get forward straight away. Ball comes into him, and what do you think he does? He takes a really nice touch. Most people would expect him to come out to this left, but a big part of his game is here. This outside of the boot touch that you can kind of see in this example. There's more examples in a minute. Takes this outside of the boot touch, which gets him even more narrow and also helps to steady himself. He continues to drive forward, and he takes another outside of the boot touch here, which gives him a few options. He also decelerates really well, which again is a really important part of his game to allow him to get these shots away. Decelerates, composes himself, and assesses his options. He can play a ball just in this gap here for, I believe it is Patrick Roberts here, or he's got Maenda out on the right. He can go out wide. He has got Isidore in here, the striker, who he can slot a ball through, and Isidore's quality and having this type of big striker means a ball through there, they're going to get on the end of most of the time. And just off screen here, you can see, I believe it is the left back, I believe it is Sirkin, but I might be wrong. So Watson has 4 options here, or he also has the option to drive the ball forward. So 5 options in total, just from coming inside and being positive, being direct, and being high risk, high reward, which is something managers don't really like nowadays. They like their players to keep the ball, play safe, and come wide as a left winger and just keep the ball and see what happens. But Watson says no. He drives towards the box. He continues going, and you can see now he goes to shape up to take that shot in here, as you can see. And this is where the really interesting shooting technique comes in. Normal shot technique here. Left leg is used as that supporting leg, that base, that structure, to plant it next to the ball and get a shot away. Nothing too dissimilar here. Also, going to mention composure quite a few times. Look at all the chaos going on around him. Players making runs through here. Defenders sliding in there. Defenders blocking here, blocking here. He's got shouts coming from here. Shouts coming from here to here. Shouts probably coming from out wide as there. Everything's going on. But he is in the zone. He knows what he's going to do and he executes it absolutely perfectly. You can see here now this shooting technique, which I will highlight right at the end of this clip. The left leg, you can see a little bit here, is bent. He's 6'3", but he's got a really low centre of gravity, a really good low centre of mass, which allows him to sink those hips, sink those shoulders, open his body out and fire almost a low-driven shot into that far corner. He's only got a small gap in here, but he gets it through. He's low still. The leg doesn't come up that much, which allows him to skid it off the grass into that bottom corner. Keeper has absolutely no chance. It's almost like a snapshot. The way his leg only sort of connects with the ball and then stops. It's really interesting, but it works really, really well. Sinks that ball into the bottom corner to send the Black Cats to the Premier League. Here is that shooting technique, as you can see. He's almost sort of moving away from the ball as he shoots it. The left knee in here, I will highlight. It's bent, which allows him to get low, sink those hips in here and sink this right shoulder here and twist it. The foot in here comes up less than 90 degrees, maybe about 60 degrees. So interesting, this technique. Really unique. Gets it through that gap. Allows him to keep it on the floor and put it into that bottom corner. And he's done this with most of his goals throughout his young career so far. But if Millwall utilise this, they will score so many goals. Whether that's him putting it in the net, whether that's coming off the post, the keeper rebounding it, getting blocks that spin off to Ivanovic up front or Langstaff in the 10 or Aziz on the right. But now this is his first goal for Sunderland, his brace against Stoke. Look at the position that he picks up in here. Those half spaces between the midfield and the back line, slightly narrow. They expect that left winger to be out here. But it is now the left back, Watson, in here with all of this space in here. I really like his body position as well. It's open. He knows if he gets a touch on his left foot in here, he's going to drive this way and he's going to get a free kick. He's going to get a shot away. He's going to have a pass that he can make. Ball comes in. He takes a really positive first touch. Drive that low centre of gravity. Really important for a winger. Drives towards the box. And he's got options. He can either, again, play that ball in here. He can play a reverse ball to the winger. He can try and slot Isidore in here or here. 4 options once again, or the 5th is the driving forward. So just from being in these positions, from these first 2 screenshots, he has 5 options at all times. What do you think happens next? He takes a outside of the boot touch to push that ball inside towards the box, make it go outside of his stride so he can cut in it with his right foot to put a shot on target. Steadies himself, balance, really nice deceleration here to get his foot in the right position, to get the ball in the right position. Still has options here which he can do, but again he's focused, he knows what he's going to do. That left foot comes out again to be that structure, that base, to provide that balance and a good striking position. Left leg comes back here, as you can see. Not too much, only a little bit, which is like his playoff final goal. Leg comes back, left knee's bent, you can't really see it, but it's a low shot again. Right foot doesn't come up too much, only about that 60-70 degree angle, not following through like you are kind of taught to do as a youngster. Drills it through here into this bottom corner. It's an exceptional finish. Many keepers think from this position, the way his body is open, look at his body position in here. It looks like he's going to try and curl one or fire one into that far corner from here. Puts it into his near corner, catches the keeper off guard. So he has variety with his finishing, which is really, really important. Another example of his winner in this Stoke game from his brace. Very, very similar start to the playoff final goal. Watson is the left winger, but he's now this player narrow in here, which gives Sirkin, Bellingham lots of space on this left-hand side. The Sunderland player drives forward with it. Watson, really clever what he does here. He holds off. It's very easy for young players, and it's very common for young players to drive into that box, run into that box, and try and be there for that goal to put the ball in the back of the net. He's shouting for it. He has a really good look just before this to see what's behind him. He knows there's a player nowhere there, so he has that time. He then has another look in this position. He sees Bellingham in here, so he knows if a player does come to him to close him down, he can slot this pass in here. Decelerates again really well, as you can see with his leg position. Makes that step into the box to receive that ball. Deceleration again. He knows Bellingham is there. He knows what's around him. The ball comes to him, and again, it's this striking position. That left leg comes to be that support base. He's got a right leg shot that doesn't come too far back, doesn't swing all the way back. His hips are starting to sink. His shoulders are turning again. The left shoulder is dipping, which means he can bend this left leg slightly. He can come low and he can fire another low drilled shot into that bottom corner. 3 very similar goals, but 3 varieties of finish. 3 slightly different goals. Putting it into the near post, curling it into the far corner, or drilling it into that far corner. It does take a deflection, but it does go into that far corner, and it's a really nice strike from that really unique body position. So there are his 3 goals for Sunderland. If we look at his goal for Brighton on his debut against Oxford, again, a similar but different finish. Watson is this player in here. As you can see, the number 14. Really nice starting position. He can do a few things depending on the situation. He can press in there. He can drop there if needs, or he can drop wider. Depends what happens in this situation. Jimas intercepts the ball in here, and Watson makes that move towards the box straight away. Something that's really underrated about him, really underappreciated, is he's not rapid, but he covers ground quickly and really well in a really effective way. He goes from here to here, and he's already in a dangerous position, and he has a few things he can do. Takes a nice touch again outside of the boot, as you can see. This allows him those options again. Can he slot a ball through to Haralampos Kostilas? Maybe. Can he play a reverse pass to Jimas? Maybe. Can he put it to the edge of the box in here for, I believe that is Harry Howe or Charlie Tasker? I'm not sure which one it is, but this is something we'll cover in a minute, putting that ball to the edge of the box. Or again, he has that 4th option of driving and shooting. So 4 options once again, just from that outside of the foot touch. Again, takes another one here, and even better outside the foot touch on his right foot. Pushes it to the right hand side, so it's just on the outside of his stride, sort of in line with it. Again, he has those options. Jimas in here, Babis in here. What does he do? He gets himself low again. That left foot base structure. Right leg doesn't come back too far, so you expect a low shot into the bottom corner. But no, he bends that left knee, not as much this time as the goal we've just seen, slightly less, which means he gets a bit more lift on the ball, but the foot still doesn't go that high, so the keeper thinks he's going to try and curl it into the bottom corner, but it goes into the top corner. The way he doesn't move his leg too much, the keeper's rooted, he's got absolutely no chance of saving it. You can see here, again, highlighting this example here, the left knee in here isn't bent, or is bent, sorry, so he gets that low, moving away technique. The right foot, the striking foot boot, isn't that high at all. He's low, hips are dipped again, shoulders are open, this one's dipping, and he fires a fantastic shot, as you just seen, into the top corner. So there are 4 finishes just from that one technique that he can do, and it catches keepers out. They don't know whether he's going to put it into that bottom corner, he's going to put it into that top corner, or curl it into the far corner. The more he improves, the more he develops, the more he understands the game, the more goals he's going to score. And in this Millwall team, I think he's going to thrive. But as for assists, the hat-trick of them against Barnsley, his starting position here, quite normal for a left winger, I'd say. He is between the back line and the defence and the midfield once again. Slightly tucked inside, not too narrow, all the space in here. Coppola takes a shot, anything can happen, and this is why I like this position from Watson. The ball could spin off to him. Keeper could save it, could drop to him. It does hit the centre-back, it spins off, and it reacts really, really well. You can see he's on his toes. He's going to beat this centre-back here who's made the mistake. This defender here is on his heels, not sure what's happening. Watson on his toes, covers that ground really, really quickly. And from this position here, originally he knows what's around him. He knows that Gomez is on the edge of the box. He knows that Jimas is here, and he knows that Welbeck is at the back post. He knows his three options. Again, makes that move towards the ball, knows what's coming, decelerates again really, really well. And it's this low striking position. Right knee is now bent, which allows him to have that left-footed cross into the box. He knows from the type of player that Diego Gomez is that he's going to be there. The movement Jimas makes in here opens up this space, something that Ivanovic can do for Millwall, as a more reason why I think Watson's going to do really, really well and improve his numbers massively. Is a really difficult cross. He's got two defenders in here, three as well, covering that middle. He has to put an absolutely perfect ball into this space. He does. Really nice outside of the boot. Doesn't follow through too much, which allows, on the floor, Gomez to put it into an empty net. So, from his striking technique and his body position, you can see he's now able to put low crosses into the box, which again is something that that managers don't really do, and something that goalkeepers find really, really difficult to make saves from, because they don't know whether to come and push it out or let the defenders deal with it. Defenders really struggle dealing with this, as well as you could put it in your own net. It's really hard to clear. As a player who's played as a defender myself, as a centre-back, I know how difficult these balls can be to deal with. The next example, Watson is the left winger. Funnily enough, he has come narrow, probably to nobody's surprise by now. He's come narrow. Jimas makes a really, really nice layoff to him. Watson's on his toes, he's ready, he's darted inside, and he's gone. You know what he's going to do from now. He has his options. He could drive with the ball. He could play a pass to Welbeck. He could play a pass in here to Gomez. Or he could try and play a reverse pass here, or even through here to Jimas if he does make that run. Continues going, and look what he does. He takes that outside of the foot touch to get him more narrow and driving towards the centre of that box. Get that balance, get the ball under control, and manipulate what he's going to do with it, and manipulate the opposition defence. He's in that gap again between the midfield and the back line. Those half spaces are so dangerous. He's so good at picking them up. And I'll leave a link in the description to the Zone 14 video from this entire game, where I highlight Watson even more in terms of the context of the other players around him. But he continues going, and he has a look. He plays an outside of the foot pass to Danny Welbeck in here. Slightly poor pass, something that he needs to improve. If it's slightly in front of him here, Welbeck gets on it and he's through on goal. But he plays a pass and it ends up around here. But from being in these half spaces again, drive it towards that back line, you can see the options that he has. He also has that option here of Jimas, 4 or 5 options. Ball falls through to Diego Gomez, and he puts an absolutely thunderous shot into the top corner. But what I like from these two screenshots here, the ball's here. Watson continues his run here. He wants that ball to hit off the crossbar. He wants it to go in, but he's anticipating that ball to hit the crossbar, hit the post, be deflected to his path, be pushed into his path by the goalkeeper. Continues his run. This defender's decelerating. Watson's still going in here. He knows that if something falls, he's going to be the first man there. Really nice assist and really nice anticipation for the ball to fall to him. And the final assist, as I said, from the heat map, when he's deeper in the pitch towards the halfway line, he is wide, and he is this player down here, the number 14. He is wide, pretty near the touchline. The ball gets played into him, and he immediately drives this way. You saw from the heat map that I will put up again, these areas here, he's wide, he's driving first forwards and then inside. What do you think happens? He takes an outside of the foot touch outside of the boot touch, which allows him to now come inside and then manipulate the ball and open up. Not as many options as before, but quite a few options. He could either play a pass through to Danny Welbeck. It's a really, really nice touch in here as well, which allows him to push that ball forward, play a ball there, or he can play a ball to the left back, or even make that run, which again, a lot of wingers do. But this is Tommy Watson we are talking about. A winger who plays as an inside forward, likes to drive, likes to get shots away. Continues driving now. I like the way he uses his body. He stands up and he makes the defender make a decision. He knows this player is coming in here because he's taken a look in these few moves before. He knows he's coming here because he's had a look, continues going, stands him up, makes the defenders make a decision. He opens up. He looks like he's going to maybe thread a pass through here or make a quick change of direction in here. But as I said a few screenshots ago, sometimes just putting a ball in this area can be extremely effective and extremely dangerous. Commits the defenders outside of the boot pass, just the edge of the box here. Harry Howe is there and he puts really nice pass, really nice strike. But again, Watson doesn't just stop on it. He continues that run here. As soon as the ball has left his foot, there can't be much distance there. He's already looking to get in behind here and make something happen. Anticipate a rebound, a deflection, a save that gets pushed out. Does really well to stay on side here. Holds his run, decelerates, and he's already coming through. But Howe puts it into the back of the net, and it's a really, really nice assist. But as you can see from those few goals, those few assists, he's a very unique winger. He likes to get the ball wide if he's deep, or if he's high, he likes to pick it up in the middle of the pitch. He likes to drive inside. He likes to use his really unique shooting technique to get it into that far corner and curl it past the keeper, or use the variety of finishes and put it into that near post. But if he does this for Millwall, which I'm very confident he will do, they're going to do very, very well for the rest of this season, and they should secure a playoff spot, and they could get promoted. But let's go and have a look how I think he will play in this Millwall setup. So Millwall set up in a really simple but really effective and solid 4-2-3-1 formation, and if you've ever played Football Manager, you'll know how good this is. And it's quite a standard formation, but I think it's one that's going to get the best out of Watson. We'll look at the front line. We've got Ivanovic, Langstaff, Aziz as that striker, that 10, and that right winger. Langstaff can also play up front. It's kind of a hybrid in there. Also, Doherty at left back is really, really important for Watson's game as well. And we'll start there. Doherty is a left back who likes to come high, likes to come wide and get those crosses into the box and be almost an extra attacker. That is great. That allows Watson to play his game, come narrow, be that inside forward and get towards the box, drive and get those shots away. Having two solid midfielders as well is really, really helpful, as that gives him that license to slightly cheat, I suppose. He will defend, he will recover, he'll work hard, but it gives him that license to get further forward and get in those gaps. Also gives Doherty the ability to come even higher and wider to open even more space up for Watson. So if Doherty's there, Watson's there. Ivanovic is a really good striker, one I really, really like. A proper number 9, I would call him. He'll get in that box, he'll be a nuisance, which will open up this edge of the box space for Watson or Langstaff. He'll make those runs, which will allow Watson to play passes in to here, or allow him to play those shots into the bottom corner. Ivanovic has gone there. Watson's coming here. Langstaff now, his movement onto the edge of the box means Watson can play those passes that he likes to pass to the edge of the box and get shots away. Same with Aziz. If Langstaff has got into the box, Aziz can come in here and get those shots away, a bit like the Harry Howe goal. Or if Watson is coming into these positions here, you've got 3 good attackers, especially Ivanovic and Langstaff, that are going to put the ball in the back of the net from those low crosses. I love how this team is going to play to Watson's strengths, I suppose. I'd be very surprised if he doesn't start very, very soon. It would be a weird low move if he's just used as a bench player. And I wouldn't be surprised if Millwall comfortably get playoffs. I wouldn't be surprised if they come up. They've also signed Sunderland's Patterson in goal, a really, really solid goalkeeper. I like the signings they've made. Obviously, especially Watson, I think he's going to be key for them for the rest of the season. And if he gets 10 goal contributions, that'll be fantastic. Will be a star player for them and for Brighton next season when he comes back after what I'm hoping and what I'm seeing as a very, very successful loan move. That is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned a bit about Tommy Watson, Millwall fans, and I hope you can see the sort of player that he is and how crucial he can be in this end of season running, in that push for promotion, that push for playoffs. Give him that license to take those shots when he drives inside. Give him that freedom to be that goal scorer, be that creative player and be an inside forward. Let him do that and I have no doubt he will be fantastic. But don't forget to like, subscribe, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do whatever you want with the video. And yeah, I will be back soon for another podcast episode. It has been a while, but we're going to be reviewing the January transfer window with Annabelle, as you probably could have guessed if you've watched these videos before. But thanks very much for watching. You know the outro by now. Do it with me. Adios.